Type of rest. Taking a deep breath in. I read this quote the other day and I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bit called out. It goes like this: I can't complain about having a lot on my plate when my goal was to eat. And this got me thinking a lot about my own relationship with discipline. Throughout my own journey of going from stuck into becoming a mindful go-getter, I've come to realize that as ambitious girlies, we have the tendency to push ourselves a little too hard at times. We try to be very disciplined, we go after our goals, we take steps to become the best version of ourselves, and we basically don't stop until we have brought our vision into reality. But sometimes that ambition slowly morphs into pressure that we can't handle, burnout, and also a constant feeling that we're just never doing enough. So in today's video, I want to share with you a different alternative to this very toxic and hustling view of discipline that we have been made to believe is the way to go. One where we go after our goals while still honoring our own energy and well-being. One where we can be both ambitious and gentle with ourselves at the same time. So I'll share some ideas on how you can balance self-growth with self-care, including how to practice multidimensional rests. And then later on in the video, I want to reveal to you a practice, very simple practice that you can do every single day to reconnect with yourself and check in with how you're feeling. So make sure to stick around for that. Before we dive in though, if this is your first time here on the channel, please allow me to quickly introduce myself to you. My name is Irene. I'm a mindful growth coach and creator with a background in positive psychology and neuroscience. I've also been journaling for almost 20 years, and here on this channel, we talk about all things mindful self-improvement, journaling, mindset, self-discipline, and a lot more. So if that's your vibe, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any future videos. And also, if you want more resources and may even join our community events to help you grow more mindfully, check out the Happiness Diaries Journal, my Instagram, as well as Waves of Thoughts. And with that, let's get started.
Oh my god, is that home?
Ciao. Ciao. Bye.
Super hvala.
In order to create a healthy relationship with discipline, in the case of this video, but this can be applied to literally anything in your life, we first need to release old ways of thinking so that we can create a new narrative around what positive or healthy consistency/discipline actually looks like and feels like for us. So let's clarify and start with this. Discipline is whatever you make it in your mind to be. For me, for example, as a mindful growth coach, consistency is literally never that saying of fuck your feelings, stick to the plan. Like absolutely never. Consistency for me does not have to be rigid or a harsh, cold thing to follow. Discipline for me is a kind, soft, and very mindful practice. An almost way of being, way of living kind of lifestyle too. Also, consistency does not have to be doing the exact same thing every single day in and day out. You just repeat the same thing over and over and over again. Consistency, it's all about just showing up and doing your best, whatever your best looks like that day. Also, discipline does not have to be punishing or about hustling or pushing harder. At the end of the day, discipline is just all about aligning your intentions with your actions and making sure that you're actually following through on all these little promises that you make to yourself. And then lastly, discipline is not about motivation or perfection. At the end of the day, it is all about just showing up. And even if your actions are messy, it's all about showing up as a form of self-respect. So if you're ready to shift your inner narrative around what consistency should look like, this is what you're going to do. You're going to grab your journal and you're going to have a long journaling session reflecting on how you actually view discipline/consistency. You're going to reflect on how the beliefs that you're holding about discipline are supporting you versus not right now. And also what new narrative around growth, taking action, and discipline you want to rewire your mind to start believing in. Guess who is back? It's our girl Buga. She scared me because I heard something and then I realized that she is back. She got a bit of the zoomies earlier. She was flying around like crazy, but now she's just chilling here on my desk. Oh, she's on the move again. Where will she go this time? Who knows? She's being very adventurous today. Updates on Buga's situation, and as you guys can see, she has officially fallen asleep at work. She has fallen asleep in the job while she was preparing all this content for you guys. She found a very cozy corner next to the bottom of the mic, and there she is, just napping a little bit. Oh, I cannot speak so loudly, I'm waking her up. Sorry Buga, it's okay, you can rest. You're good, you can rest. As I promised to you at the start of the video, I wanted to share with you a very quick, very simple daily practice that you can do with yourself to reconnect and check in with how you're feeling every day. Now, you can do this via journaling or via meditation. I actually suggest that you do a combination of both. So here's how it goes. I will guide you, and I would even invite you if you want to give it a try right now. So you can start by bringing your hands over to your heart center and just gently closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, sighing it all out, and asking yourself, how do I feel today? What sensations are present in my body? And what thoughts are present in my mind? And then finishing by asking yourself, what do I need today? Then you can gently open your eyes once again. You can do this practice for a few minutes, how long you need to check in with yourself that day. And then based on what you observed in your body and in your mind, you're going to set some intentions for the day. These intentions are going to be actionable self-care practices that you can do to meet yourself where you're at and to meet your needs for that day. The way I set my intentions every day is, of course, with the Happiness Diaries journal. On phase 3, the phase of taking action, you have these pages. These are your daily layout pages. And here at the top, you have this section, which I've called Positive Practices. Now, if you're just starting out with prioritizing yourself and taking care of yourself, I recommend that you pick just one activity of self-care for that day. And then your goal for the day is to meet your needs by completing that promise that you made to yourself. Now, if this is something that you're already practicing, or if you want to just challenge yourself a little bit more, then this is definitely the way to go for you. This section of the positive practices in a journal is based on the 1-1-1 rule, which means that you pick one thing for your mind, one thing for your body, and then one thing for your soul every single day. But regardless of how many self-care intentions you pick, your goal for the day is to actually follow through on them. Because each time that you don't complete that promise and you follow through on that activity that you've picked for the day, your levels of self-trust decrease. And you're basically telling your mind that you're not worth spending the time and prioritizing taking care of. In a previous video, I actually talked a lot about this, the cycle of keeping promises and building discipline and consistency the mindful way, the 3 stages that I always take my coaching clients through. So if you haven't yet, I would actually encourage you to go watch that video so you can learn a little bit more. Quite a bit overnight, and I got to wake up to snow today. How beautiful! Welcome students, class is in session, so let's get started. In line of the theme for this video, we're going to be talking about balancing self-growth with self-care. Now, if you're taking action and you're feeling tired, what you need to do is learn how to rest. But if you're taking action and resting and still feeling tired, what you need to do is to learn multidimensional rest. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. We're about to dive into the 7 types of rest, and this section is slightly based on the work by Sandra Dalton Smith. So let's get into it. Rest type number 1 is physical rest. This is, just as the name suggests, when you recharge your body's energy. And whenever we talk about rest, this is the type of rest that we most commonly associate with the umbrella that actually is rest. And also, physical rest can be either passive or active. So passive can be working on your sleep hygiene, taking some naps, actually like sleeping in general, or it can be more active. And this is when you do restorative activities such as stretching, yoga, maybe going for a massage, maybe going to the sauna. Next rest type is mental rest. And this is when you calm overthinking and work on regaining your focus. Some activities that you can do here, of course, brain dumping, journaling. Also, whenever you're working, taking breaks in between, using, for example, Pomodoro sessions, like we do in our community online co-working sessions, and just practicing mindfulness in general, being more present. Next type of rest is sensory rest, and this is when you reduce overstimulation. We live in a world where there's just so much going on around us, so much noise, so many bright lights, computer screens, multitasking. There's just so much going on. So it's also very important that you also rest your senses. You could do this by setting some boundaries. For example, with technology or social media, you could set limits on your phone so it automatically applies, so you don't even have to think about it. For example, turning on the do not disturb mode, maybe creating a sleep automation on your phone that prevents you from going on social media. Dimming the lights, especially in your evening routine, that definitely helps to calm down your nervous system and ensure that your senses are feeling a bit calmer. And also, something you can try is to go on silent walks. So this is when you don't listen to any podcasts, you don't listen to any music, you're literally just present, allowing your senses to feel more grounded, observing around you and being present. Next type of rest is creative rest, and this is when you reawaken awe and a sense of wonder. I'm not sure if my face will be covering this section, but either way, when it comes to creative rest, you can once again practice the art of being mindful, right? Being surrounded by nature, being surrounded by arts, being surrounded by creative things, going to a museum, and most importantly, paying attention and appreciating all the beautiful things that we have around us. And also, when it comes to creative rest, maybe actually challenging yourself on trying something new. This could be a new hobby. This could be you trying out painting. This could be you trying out crochet, maybe baking a new recipe. This could be literally anything, as long as you're getting out of your comfort zone, getting creative, allowing yourself to try something new and experience something new. Next, we have emotional rest. And this is when we create space for self-expression. I feel like for this type of rest, it's definitely maybe a bit more challenging to fulfill if you're very stuck in people-pleasing patterns, or if you feel like you don't really have a circle of aligned people around you whom you can trust and where you can freely speak. A circle, a community, feeling surrounded by people where you feel seen, you feel heard, you feel understood. So some things you can do to fulfill this need for emotional rest is, as always, journaling. Especially if you feel like you don't really have anyone to talk to, journaling can always be your safe space for that. Or of course, talking to a professional through therapy or through coaching, which is what I do, which is I absolutely love. Holding space for my clients is just something that I absolutely love. Or, having an honest chat with a friend, having an honest chat with yourself, just freely and fully expressing all of your emotions and all of you. Next one is social rests. And this is when you have fulfilling interactions, fulfilling relationships. So this one kind of ties a little bit maybe with the emotional rest as well. So once again, having that supportive circle, people who are very like-minded and people that support you to be better. You can also curate your own social environment, even if the environment around you is not ideal. So what you can do is always go through your following lists, also go through all the emails and newsletters and mailing lists that you're subscribed to. So you can even do a social media audit. Also setting boundaries. So these could be boundaries with technology, social media, or these could be boundaries with other people around you to make sure that you're curating, that you're being intentional, that you're protecting your energy as well. And then lastly, we have spiritual rests, which is not necessarily about being religious, but but more so that feeling of belongingness once again. But also, I would even go further and say it's also about that feeling of purpose. So if you are religious, this could look like praying, going to church, reading the Bible. Or if you're not as religious, this could still be meditating, being at peace, being in silence, reconnecting with yourself. And once again, the community aspect comes back up. So feeling involved in your community, maybe volunteering, or just in general feeling like you belong somewhere. Going after your goals to bring out that sense of purpose is something very special when it comes to your spiritual rest as well. Taking action towards the dreams that you have. And also to finalize something that is very based on positive psychology. This is actually what my master thesis was all about, which is utilizing your strengths. So these are things that you're naturally good at. These are things that energize you. These are things that you feel so in flow when you're doing and when you're practicing. So of course, that also ties into your spiritual sense of rest. This is a bit of an overview of all the different types. So now what you can do is ask yourself, which of these types of rest am I prioritizing and which types am I maybe feeling a little depleted on? And then based on that, you can, as always, set intentions, and then you can actually move on to taking the action and making sure that you're fulfilling all of these types of rest to ensure that you are practicing multi-dimensional rest and filling up your cup. Thank you for joining the class. These slides were actually from one of our previous community events where I talked very much in depth about this topic. So once again, make sure to follow me on Instagram, make sure to follow Waves of Thoughts to join us in our upcoming events. Well, hello from sunny Zagreb. Today it is a beautiful day outside, a little cold, hence the scarf. But today I'm on my way to try out a co-working space in the city. I've been to this space before a few weeks ago because my friend Rebecca hosted an event there for her group Zagrepreneurs, and it was a really nice space for the event. And then yesterday I went to my first TEDx talk, which was insanely fun. And I got to network a little bit and I met the team that actually runs the space, and they invited me to join today because they're doing this open space, so you can come try out. They're going to give me a tour of the space as well, and I think it would be a really cool spot to potentially start doing some pop-up events for Waves of Thoughts next year. So we shall see how it's going to be, what it's going to look like. But yeah, I'm making my way there now. Should be really fun, so we'll see how it goes. Also, I hope the audio is okay. I rarely vlog outside, but you know what? We're embracing change, we're growing, and we're trying different things. There's a few cars passing, but we have the little mic, so hopefully that'll be good enough.